day, a pleasant day to all of us. I am Hanijem E. Dumaraos and I am reporting about the introduction of entrepreneurship. So, first, let us define what is entrepreneurship. So, entrepreneurship may be defined as the visualization and realization of new ideas by insightful individuals who are able to use information and mobilize resources to implement their vision. It means that entrepreneurship requires ability, like, for example, the knowledge and skills. These are the abilities needed to become an entrepreneur. Knowledge is used to translate or think an idea that will be commenced as the business, but knowledge cannot be all alone. It requires skills in order to take the idea into reality by setting it up on ground to serve the needs of society and gain profits. So, according to Winnikers and Turek, they have provided the most elaborated and inclusive definition of entrepreneurship. So, they explain that entrepreneurship is the manifest ability and willingness of individuals on their own, in teams, within and outside existing organizations to perceive and create new economic opportunities, like, for example, new products, new production methods, new organizational schemes, and new product market combinations, and to introduce their ideas in the market. In the face of uncertainty and other obstacles by making decisions on location, form, and the use of resources and institution. So, therefore, entrepreneurship can be understood as an economic process where an idea is generated or an opportunity is created, refined, developed, and implemented while exposed to uncertainty to realize a profit. Why uncertainty? Because no one knows what is will be at the end, if it became successful or not. Isa itong sugal to realize a profit by effective utilization of resources. 'Di ba? We will not know what will it how will it ends unless we try. So that is how entrepreneurship goes like. So now I am going to introduce to you some characteristics of entrepreneurship. So first characteristic of entrepreneurship is an economic activity done to create, develop, and maintain a profit-oriented business. So it means that it leads to the manufacture of a good or provision of service to gain income. That is the goal of that is one of the characteristics of entrepreneurship. The next one is so now I will be going to introduce to you some characteristics of entrepreneurship. So first characteristics of entrepreneurship is an economic activity done to create, develop, and maintain a profit-oriented business. So it means that it leads to the manufacturer of a goods or provision of services in order to gain an income. The next characteristics of entrepreneurship is it begins with identifying an opportunity as a potential to sell and make profit in the markets. So before going to the field of business, it needs first to identify if the local is suitable to the product you intended to sell. Like for example, the product you want to sell is gasol. Will it be click in the local if it is in the remote area where they do not know what is and the income of the community is really poor, which they prefer to have sugnod na kahoy for cooking? Do you think it is kanang click and they can attain they can purchase your product? Because maybe not, because they have um, poor income, and also you as entrepreneur, you cannot gain profit from them. So you need to identify the potential sale of your um, intended products before um, before marketing it. The third one is that entrepreneurship is the best utilization of available resources. So, what we see in our community, we can make use of it to make a business. It just needs some click of your brain, and voila, you can have creativity. And the last characteristic of entrepreneurship is that entrepreneurship is the ability of an enterprise and an entrepreneur to take risks. So, taking risks is very, very important. It is because entrepreneurship is like love. You need to take risks. It's either you will be hurt at the end or feel love under the sun. Char. But really, it is win or lose, but you will know the result when you will not know the result unless you risk anything. So the importance of entrepreneurs extends beyond the effect those individuals have their own companies. However, they impact their broader communities and in some cases even the world. So why those entrepreneurs impact the world? It is because entrepreneurs established or hired some workers to do jobs for them, and they can somehow help to those people to have work, to gain profit. Here are some important role of entrepreneurs or entrepreneurship. First is economic growth. So economic growth, the success of the products and services created and sold by entrepreneurs cascades to the other businesses and markets. So econ- being an entrepreneur, it adds up to the economic growth of the Philippines. Just like for example, if let's take for example the Brilliant products. So Brilliant Beauty products. So Brilliant Beauty products is very demand local and international. So it is very advantage. It can help the economic growth of the Philippines because they kanang they mimbayad sila taxes, and it kanang mo bring back na siya sa economy mo adapt na siya sa economy, makagain og profit ang atong ekonomiya ana, not just the entrepreneur itself. Next is wealth generation. Entrepreneurs frequently targeted new markets and tap audiences outside the focus of established firms. This creates new sources of revenue and profits. So, not just not being an entrepreneur, they are very important in the society because um, everyone can be an entrepreneur as long as he or she has the knowledge and skills to do so. And uh, and being an entrepreneur can gain more wealth. So, better not, you should be one of an entrepreneur. If you want to be a millionaire, billionaire, or trillionaire. Next, it important is social change. The innovative goods and services entrepreneurs offer reduce dependence on outdated processes and technologies. One example is the way smartphones have affected how business communicate with customers, employees, and partners. So of course, having entrepreneurs it establish social change because as much as they could, they can interact with people, and the more employees, the more customers they serve, they can socialize. And having this communication or the innovation, we can establish easy and very comfortable way of reaching out our customers, our employees, and partners in business. The next one is community development. So, community development, entrepreneurs foster a sense of community among people with common goals, interests, whether in single neighborhood or across continents. Their products and services contribute to the community's social and economic well-being. So, of course, being an entrepreneur helps your community development because it starts within your community, because no one can start in big na dayon. 'Di ba kung mag-start ka og business dapat sa gamay. Maybe nagkuan kag sari-sari store gamay sa inyuhang locality, and it turns out nga ning boom kay kanang daghan kayong mopalit sa imuha, and the next one you will hire many some employees to your kuan tindahan kay dako-dako na, and later on nahimo na siyang mall, di ba? So it helps in community development. There are types of entrepreneurship. So most people think of an entrepreneur as someone with dreams of becoming a titan of industry. So while many would-be entrepreneurs have lofty goals, most hope only to create a successful business, whether that success spans the globe or reaches no farther than their local community. Types of entrepreneur range from hometown storefront business to technological innovation that could change the world. So there are many types of entrepreneurship, and I have given this only few types of entrepreneurship. So the first one is the small business entrepreneurs. So the small business entrepreneurs take greater risk than the typical small business owner, and they tend to rely on broader set of skills that encompasses high-level thinking, analytical reasoning, and complex interpersonal communication. So, in this, small business entrepreneurs, they differ from the small business owners in their company legal status because entrepreneurs generally incorporate their businesses, while owners They are the one to operate as sole proprietors, partnership, or other non-incorporated entities. So in small business entrepreneurship, you're the only one owner of that business. Just like for example, sa resort store, ana. And the next type of entrepreneurs is the investor entrepreneur. So, the role of investors entrepreneurs are typically seen as complementary but distinct. Entrepreneurs seek investors to bankroll in new companies. However, some entrepreneurs focus solely on providing financial banking to new business entities. Investor entrepreneurs may start their careers in one of the two roles and seek into hybrid of both, tap the strengths of each. So these investor entrepreneurs, you're not going to sell you're not the one who sell products here. You're just going to buy it up or invest some money to the company or to the service. And the next one is the technology entrepreneurs. So these technology entrepreneurs are characterized by their passion and unshakable belief in inherent value of the products or services they create. Becoming a tech entrepreneur typically entails working long hours and making financial sacrifices in the short term for the prospect of long-term gain. Tech entrepreneurs must also possess the ability to sell their ideas, persevere through hard times, and make others feel as enthusiastic about their ideas as they do. So, in this one example of these technology entrepreneurs is that anang pinakauso kayo ron nga kanang job is being a freelancer, in which kanang freelancer is that we are going to sell your skills. But however, for the past 40 years, the image of technology entrepreneurs has been dominated by billionaires such as Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, and they are kanang the bigger boss aning technology entrepreneurship. Kay more mas sila na may kanang murag nag-top na jud kay what is Mark Zuckerberg, sila ay nagkuan sa Facebook, din anay Meta karon. Then si Bill Gates sa Microsoft. Then and many more nga nagkuan that they can gain profit through technology entrepreneurship. So next is internal entrepreneurship. So entrepreneurs tend to be self-motivated, proactive, innovative employees who create an entrepreneurial spirit within their team. When companies give employees the freedom to experiment and grow within an organization, they can benefit from the success of their employees' internal projects. However, firms that fail to personally recognize the work of entrepreneurs risk seeing them leave to become true independent entrepreneurs. So kaning mga internal entrepreneurs, they isel gihapon nila ilahang kahibalo or yung ilahang mga skills in a company. For example, kanang musud ka law firm, kanang engineering firm, architectural firm nga magkuan sa ilaha. So you're going to sell your skills to them. Your skills and ideas are nga but the under ka ana nga company. But so meaning nga as an entrepreneur mangita kag tawo nga mga skills, talented para mo igo na lang ka magsweldo sa ilaha. But being an entrepreneur in this field, you must you must know how to make feel make your kanang imong trabahante workers feel important, so that nga ang kanang dili sila mo adto dayon og lain, kay sila man ang imuhang mga skills, sila man imuhang gama sa skills, imuhang idea, but sila buhat sa skills. The next one is the online entrepreneur. So in online entrepreneur, this is an online enterprise require the same time and effort commitment as the other forms of entrepreneurship, and they are subject to their own challenges mainly related to technology. For example, an online business will likely rely on partnership with many different service providers outage and any of which could knock the business offline. So this is the online in online entrepreneur. This is kanang rampant karon nga mag sell na lang through online, kanang online selling, but not just online selling, kina naman po'y mga apps like Shopee, Lazada, and karon nga bag-o pa jud kayo ang TikTok, pwede na ka mag-sell through TikTok. So these are the online entrepreneurs. So kinsa may makagain ani? Naay ang Shopee, na as it is an application na ay nagkuan ana, but you can be a member of Shopee. You can be as one of the seller in Shopee. So that's it. And now we are going to talk about the entrepreneurship skills. So in order for us to be an effective entrepreneur in the near future, if we want to, we should have these entrepreneurship skills. So growing a business requires a diverse set of skills, but that one trait that ties them all together is leadership. Mo jud na siya pinaka naajud. Entrepreneurship transform an idea into a product or service that has value to customers. Each step in the process, from creating the business plan to achieve profitability, calls for range and organizational interpersonal skills, all of which depend on leadership. So ang pinakakuan jud is leadership. If we don't have these skills, we should not be an entrepreneur. So the first one is leadership. So leadership, entrepreneurs demonstrate their zeal for the enterprise in all of their interactions with investors, employees, and outside parties. They are confident in themselves and in the business, and they are decisive yet adaptable. They listen to the respect the opinions of others, and are always taking advantage of opportunities to study and learn. Leadership is very important skills of being an entrepreneur, because as entrepreneur, you must know how to lead, or you must know how to get interact get interactions with your investors or employees, because kinsa may if kanang ulawon kay ka, wala kay sense of responsibility, wala kay kanang skills sa pagka-leader, asa man padulong ang imuhang employees, diba? Kinsa may mangulo, so dapat ikaw naa jud kay sense of leadership. Next is interpersonal communication. So entrepreneurs understand that the lines of communication in an organization must run both ways. Communication is particularly important to entrepreneurs because it makes all their other skills more effective. Communication skills are used to close sales, boost employee morale, resolve conflicts, and negotiate contracts. So being an entrepreneur, dapat kabalo ka mangistorya. Pinakapak jud na. So how can you kanang gain investors if you don't know how to speak, how to communicate with them, 'di ba? And also, if you don't know how to communicate well with your employees, magkagubot, magka-conflict. Always remember that if you are an entrepreneur and you are going to hire workers, we all know that man and a human has different um, moral and different culture. So you need to practice communicate in turn personal communication so that any conflict should be resolved in your company. Next is organizational behavior. So, technology is a vital part of any new business venture, but the ability to manage people will ultimately determine a company's success. People management takes many forms, but the key is to match the organizational approach with the characteristics of business and its employees. So, of course, kay ikaw may tag-iya, dapat kabalo ka mo organize sa imuhang mga tawo. Nga kani sila, diri ni siya nga department. Ikamo may imuhang ihan ay imong mo i-organize nimo. Na kay manager, na kay naabak. Just like for example sa hotel and restaurant. Nga, ikaw boss. Dapat na kay kanang manager, na kay floor manager, na kay kining sa katong mga kitchen, na kay head chef, na kay kuan, so that all of your employees should be organized, and they are kanang ang trabaho pud nila ma-organize pud para ma-focusan jud nila, and you can render the correct service that you want to employ on your customers. The next one is business strategy. The importance of having a clear business focus and being optimistic and driven to achieve the company's goal is balanced by the need to be adaptable and acknowledge when industries, markets, and customers' preference change. Entrepreneurs are decisive and passionate, but they are also really ready and willing to make changes when necessary to keep the company on path forward. So, we kay a business, if we are going to have business, dili man jud sa tanang panahon nga mo perminti na jud na nakaangat. Samot na nga ang imong products kay magkadugay ang panahon, magkadugay mulaos man jud na, usahay dili pud ganahan na ang mga tawo, usahay nga ang imong product kay dili na kanang kailangan, dili na kanang adaptable for today's trend. So, dapat naa kaaning business strategy. Unsaon yung pag-strategize nga ang imong product mo kanang maggamit pa siya in the next few years, or makain siya sa trend. Next is collaboration and project management. So entrepreneurs understand the importance of being a good team member as well as serving as a team leader. They establish relationship with managers, investors, partners, stakeholders as peers who all have important roles to play rather than as a hierarchy. So, it does not mean that ikaw may boss, ikaw nalay permission dun tanan. You should, as an entrepreneur, you should know how to listen. How to listen to your employees, how to listen to your stakeholders, how to listen to your investors, kanang partners. You should know how to listen to them. That because that is how a great entrepreneur must have. You need you should know how to collaborate with them so that as many ideas, many collaborations, makagain pa kag better idea, better strategy in order to kanang mas mapaboom panimo or mas mapalago panimo ang imuhang business. So I think mao to ang akong report, and thank you all for listening. I hope that you learned something from my report. Thank you.